Good morning, everybody. It's your favorite electrician, Doug here. Just getting my day started here on a Friday. Happy Friday to y'all. I wanted to say thanks to everybody who participated in our conversation about mental health in the trades this week, whether you are on one side or the other, doesn't matter. It was great to get everybody's feedback. Now, it seems to me, summing it up a little bit based on everybody's insight, that there are just people from all walks of life, and everybody's got a different take on what they're comfortable with sharing and experiencing. And, I just wanted to put this out there that regardless of whether you work in a place that, talks about mental health, offers you a space to talk about, the stresses you're facing at work, whatever the case may be, or whether you work for a company that doesn't do that, you can find the team that suits you best. If you're working for a company that doesn't necessarily meet your needs in one way or the other, you can always go find another company to work for that does that. The trades kind of run the gamut. There's all kinds of people out there running companies. So you can find that. I do want to say that in doing some research on mental health in the trades in particular, I found some crazy statistics. We all know that, and this is a tough topic, but suicide rates are higher than they've ever been. And among men, they're way higher. Men, I saw statistics that said men under the age of 42, suicide's the highest killer for men. Isn't that crazy? That's a crazy stat. And it's 1.6 times higher for those in the trades. And those of us who are military veterans too. And that's a very similar demographic. A lot of us who are in the military, myself included, end up in the trades. Similar demo for sure. So it's no joke. It's a real thing. People really struggle with depression. I too, I struggle with that myself. Depression's been a big part of my life for a really long time. I think creative-minded people, live in that world sometimes. And, I've been medicated for 15 years now. I'm on Zoloft and it's awesome. And it took me a while to find that. I was diagnosed with obsessive compulsive disorder. I've mentioned on the show a couple times, 15 years ago. And, and struggle with depression. But the meds help a lot. They just make me less of an asshole, which is awesome for everybody around me. Because when you're an obsessive compulsive, everything has to be a certain way or it's a real anxiety issue. So look, all I'm saying is mental health's a real thing. And I think that for those of us who struggle with it, we want other people to understand that we're not trying to burden you with what we're struggling with. We just want to be able to maybe have a conversation when it's getting to that point to say, hey, I might need a second here. Because it is a real thing. And, I think that for a man, there's real strength and courage in being vulnerable. And I think that a lot of times we go the other route. Like men think that, and they were taught that. We were taught and we learned that in order to show that you're tough, you don't cry, you don't do all you fight somebody who's ready to fight. There's all these things for a man that we kind of feel like we have to live up to, and that there's no place for us to be vulnerable or emotionally open. And I think that's absolute bullshit. And I think honestly, the people who can be vulnerable, I think, are the braver people. They're the stronger people. They're the people who say, man, I'm in this situation and the only way out, there's two ways out. One's not a good one. The other way is through my effort, through going to see a therapist and for taking medication and all that stuff and working to figure this out. Why do I feel like shit? When I first saw a therapist for the first time, I was ready to end it. It was over for me. I was trying to make a living as an artist, as a stand-up comic, super hard, and I just was done. And thank God I reached out to a therapist and started trying to figure out medication, because we all get to those points where we're like, this isn't working. And for those of us who are fathers and are husbands, you got the weight of the world on your shoulders, whether it's real or not. It feels that way. You got a lot to live up to. You want to be the best example you can be for these people, and you want to be the best, support you can be for the people in your family. And that's a lot of pressure. And so men, women too, but I'm speaking on behalf of men here. I'm speaking on behalf of veterans, and I'm speaking on behalf of men in the trades. We suffer sometimes from the pressures that come, and that doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you a failure. We can feel like failure sometimes because we put the bar so high. But look, man, I'm just trying to level with you guys. It's okay to, number one, feel stressed. It's okay to struggle with some form of mental illness. It is part of life for some of us, all right, for most of us. The pressures of society are high. The pressures of life are high. So give yourself a break. If you're feeling like you can't talk to anybody, reach out to me. Reach out to us. But there are hotlines that can help people who are struggling with mental illness or feeling like they're at the end of the rope. There's always somebody to talk to. So whatever the stigma is in the trades, forget it. Just do what you need to do to make yourself okay. And if somebody gives you shit or tells you you're weak for that, tell them to suck it. It's not their business. It's not their problem. And in fact, they're probably just masking up some shit that they're not dealing with on their own. So look, I don't mean to be so coarse about it, but it just was interesting to get a lot of feedback from people, being like, nah, fuck it. I'm not trying to hear what other people are going through. And it's like, look, man, I get it. I think there's a fear of all of us in the trades that it's going to become some sort of like place where everybody's like huddled together crying in a corner and shit. But I don't think that's the case. I think we just need to accept the fact that as men, that we have all kinds of things that we deal with. And it's not just about approaching it with some sort of toughness. Toughness is real. We talk about it all the time. And you need to be tough in the trades. You need to be tough in the military. All that stuff's real. But I think, and this is the last thing I'll say, you show real toughness by admitting to yourself that you need help and reaching out for it. That's real courage. That's real toughness. Anybody else that says it's not is wrong in my book. So if you guys need help, reach out to somebody, talk to somebody. If you're in a leadership position, make it available to people to talk to you. And that's all I'll say on mental health, y'all. Hope you have a great day. Peace!